Porter's 5 Forces is a model that analyzes and identifies 5 competitive forces that shape every industry and helps identify the strengths and weaknesses for that industry. It was created by a guy named Michael Porter in the 1970s, and it's a model much like the SWOT analysis or PESTLE, except this is all external forces. SWOT is internal or external forces, and I have a video on that which will be linked at the end. The 5 forces are competitive rivalry, supplier power, buyer power, threat of substitution, and threat of new entry. And I'll explain each one of those in depth using an example that I did for a business in college on a strategic management report. So we'll get to that there now. So in this example, the Porter's 5 Forces is for an immigration law, or the industry we did it for is immigration law. And the first force is competitive rivalry. So competitive rivalry is the intensity of competition among existing firms in the market, often driven by the number of competitors, industry growth rate, and high exit barriers. For this industry, there was 3 competitors in the market, which meant that there was potential for growth in the industry. Next is supplier power. So supplier power is the ability of suppliers to drive up prices, determined by factors like the number of suppliers, uniqueness of their products, and cost of switching suppliers. So since this is a service business, it wasn't really an issue for them. But if you're selling something like technology that involves graphics cards, then you're probably having a problem with your suppliers because they have lots of power and they can sell to whoever they want. Buyer power is the ability for customers to drive down prices, often influenced by the number of buyers, order size, and availability of information. So buyers had a little bit of power for this industry here since there was some other options for them to go to, but not a whole lot of power. Next is threat of substitution. So where this is just helping people get their citizenships is hard to substitute since it's a little bit of a product or a little bit of a process to it. However, if you were to sell something like, well, a product, and I don't know, let's say Oreos, for example. There's lots of substitutions for Oreos, so their threat of substitution would be high. But since this is a specialized service, their threat of substitution was pretty low. Next, threat of new entry, and that is the ease with which new competitors can enter the market, which is influenced by barriers like to entry, like economies of scale, capital requirements, and brand loyalty. And I just completely missed the fact in this report where it's a law firm, so the barrier of entry is high, where you have to get all the certification for that. And if you want any more tutorials, I hope that was all right for you guys. So like and subscribe for more.